Ugh. All right.
Every book is better with humor. It doesn't matter what genre you're writing. Every time you can make the reader laugh, it's as
in the first frame. Oh, this?
Every book is better with humor. It doesn't matter what genre you're writing. Every time you can make the reader laugh, it's as good as making them cry or worry about the characters or hate an antagonist. This video isn't designed to help you write a comedy. It's designed to help you inject humor into whatever you're writing so the reader enjoys it a little bit more. And spoiler alert, this video contains 0 knock-knock jokes. You're welcome. 1. Don't try to add humor. Humor really comes from situations and characters. If you create those right, then humor is gonna follow. What humor isn't is it's not just Googling some jokes and like sticking them in the story. It's not like writers are queuing up dad jokes.
How much did you pay for my book? I think it was $26. And it was like 19 for Callies or something like that. So I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Going to work on my stories when I mute here. True book.
Whenever they want the reader to laugh. What do you call a bear with no teeth? Gummy bear. See, 0% of you are laughing right now. Take a look at Zoolander. This is a comedy that comes from
a $5.62.
Yes, he's very dumb, but he's also very, very good looking. And when you have a character who's dumb but just happens to be a male model, you can have situations like an accidental gasoline fight accident. Or after he's worked in the mines with his father and his brother for a day, he can cough pitifully and say,
I think I'm getting the black lung, Bob.
If you don't have Derek Zoolander, there is no humor in the story. So if you want to be funny, start with a character. The second good strategy for humor is to highlight the absurd. So David Foster Wallace in Infinite Jest decides that in the future, companies...
Crazy, but I don't do it completely for the money. Well, it's because most of that is taxes and the $6 delivery fee. So it's actually only 13 plus like 4. Oh, and it's also Canadian too. So that's like $9 Canadian. So I probably only paid like $16 American, right? So a lot different paying in the conversion rate. So it seems like you're not getting that much out of it, but it's like, it's because I paid a lot more than it should be because it's Canadian.
Are going to be able to sponsor years the way they currently sponsor sports stadiums. So instead of the year 2029, for example, we would have the year of the Depend adult undergarment. He doesn't choose Ford as the sponsor. He doesn't choose Pepsi. He chooses...
Oh shit, yeah, I forgot the country conversion difference.
An adult diaper company. The very concept of companies sponsoring years is like just outside what seems possible, but you'll almost believe it. Or Douglas Adams in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, he asks this very serious question about what is the meaning to life, the universe, 42. And everything. And then the giant supercomputer, which is supposed to know absolutely everything, comes back with the answer
42.
Yes, it's an absolutely absurd answer, and that's what makes it funny. One of my favorite examples of going to the absurd in a storyline would be in Anchorman, when the rival news teams just have this all-out battle. The violence is just way beyond the pale, and I just love this concept that rival news teams are battling it out in this back alley brawl. A third strategy, if you want to add some humor to your book, is to use exaggeration and understatement. So for this joke, like, you just want to push the joke a little farther. You just want to repeat it a few more times. Think about in Monty Python and the Holy Grail when the Black Knight keeps on insisting as his limbs are chopped off, "'Tis only a scratch." He loses an arm, then he loses his other arm, then he loses his legs. Still he's like, "I'm fine, let's keep on fighting." I think if you stop at just one arm being cut off, it's not quite funny yet. It's the fact that limbs keep on being cut off and the Black Knight's still like, "I'm good. Like, let's keep fighting." Another great example of this is in Bridesmaids in an insult scene. The character that Kristen Wiig is playing gets into this knockdown insult war between her and a little girl, and it's much funnier because it's a little girl. And at first they're just like sort of vanilla insults, and then they get hard and dark, and somehow it's hilarious. Or in that same movie when they get food poisoning, you could just have them, you know, throw up or just show it off screen or something. Instead, you get this horrible vision of like coming out both ways, and it's absolutely disgusting and revolting, but because they pushed it so far and showed you what was actually happening, it's also funny in a very disturbing way. Another great example of just pushing that humor further using exaggeration is one of the funniest books that I've ever read. It's called The Sellout by Paul Beatty. Now, if I try to describe the story to you, you're gonna think that doesn't sound funny at all, but just you gotta trust me on this one, okay? So it is about a black man living in Los Angeles who tries to reinstitute slavery and segregation, and he grows artisanal watermelons. And then he gets brought in front of the Supreme Court while smoking marijuana. Once again, you just gotta read it. I honestly can't explain it.
I want to write, but I'm still on break from writing 160,000 words in 1 year, 4 months. I think I was mostly motivated by money, and then I saw $57 after all that, but then I saw so many people like my stuff, and that pushed me to write more, but I need the money, maybe like $2,000 a month. I'll sell for less, but I want enough to live. Yeah, that's the problem, Callie. Writers are one step away from being homeless. And the more you try to make a living out of it, the more pressure you're under, and then I find the more that things fall apart. So I think the best way to do it is just do it as a hobby until you're literally a millionaire, and then you're just set for life. Or at least like you're at a point where ads, fuck ads. They always pop up when I'm trying to answer a question. Alright. We are back. Callie, I was saying, my mentor once told me if you want to pursue writing as a career, the first thing you need to do is learn to starve, because you'll go hungry many years before you sell even one writing, and they was correct. Yup. That's why find something else that you can do to sustain yourself and do writing on the side. It sucks, but it's basically what you gotta do. Or you have to have like a life circumstance. Like I didn't take advantage of the 8 years that I didn't have to worry about money. I mean, I still don't have to worry about money, but it's like I'm done being a leech, right? And that's motivated me to actually get up and do something as opposed to just lie around and be like, feel sorry for myself for having seizures. Fuck that. But anyways, Callie, what I was going to say is, wait, I'm trying to balance exercise and writing, and that requires extra food. Yeah, Callie, so if your main income is coming from your writing, and your writing isn't making that much money, then, oof, yeah, that's not very good. But you know what they say, writers are always one step away from being homeless, and you can't, you know, until you really make it, and like, you know, you get like $1 million or something like that, like trying to put the pressure on yourself to make a living off of it and knowing that like if this book doesn't sell, I'm fucked, I think is not a healthy way to go about writing. I think take that determination and everything and put it into a hobby in the side and use the hours you're at work to brainstorm. And then that gives you, you know, and then to have a notebook with you and just like write stuff down, and then, you know, that then you're not just wasting that 8 hours, because that's what I do at work. I'm always thinking about my book. It's like I don't have to write stuff down because I remember it most of the time, and the whole point is if I don't remember it, it's not important. I don't feel pressured by it. I'm motivated by the, oh, if I write 10 books in 5 to 7 years, I'll make it. Well, that's a good point. As long as the mentality that you have towards it is positive. But then there's always, if you never make it, what happens, right? So, I mean, you could be the best writer in the world and everything could just still fall through, right? You could just be that another diamond in the rough. So it's not even at the end of the day how great of a writer you are. You know, people buy fucking slop because of the genre. And, like, marketing soars books to the top. So there is a lot of calculations and variables going into that.
But in that book, he keeps pushing the ideas until you're like, this is so wild. I cannot believe an actual human being wrote this book. It is ludicrous. And for more examples of exaggeration, check out my Bookfox Academy. That's 11 courses that I have that guide you
Defeat
through
the top
things
of the
like
overwhelming
writing
and perhaps
technique.
foolish optimism. I mean, it's true, Callie. I try to be as optimistic as possible, but I always try to keep, you know, what's the worst case scenario? If the worst case scenario is me living on the street, if I'm a bad writer, then I better get my shit together and find some other way. But if it's like, oh, I'm just, you know, I'm gonna have to eat rice and live in an apartment, it's like, you know, I could deal with that.
And sentences that sometimes use exaggeration techniques, and also my novel writing course, which will guide you through this process of adding some humor to your book and actually, you know, finishing the book as well. A fourth way to sneak some humor into your book is to use running gags. Look, don't be afraid to repeat a joke. Right? It's fine to have like an ongoing joke with just little tiny variations as you go to make it feel fresh a little bit every time. I once heard the theory that things are funny the third time you say them, and then they don't get funny again until you repeat them for the 7th time and onwards. Somehow the very repetition of it finally like clicks our funny bone and we're like, okay, that actually is funny. Look at a book like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Hunter Thompson.
If you've never seen Fear and Loathing, oh my fucking god, go watch this movie. This movie is so fucking ridiculous. I might actually watch this movie after the stream, guys. It's Johnny Depp and a Mexican guy, and basically he's a reporter, and the Mexican guy is his lawyer, and they just do a fuck ton of drugs, because they're supposed to be covering a derby in, like, a motorcycle derby in Las Vegas, and everything just gets so fucked up. It is fucking hilarious. Bats! Bats! We're bat country.
Hunter Thompson character is accompanied by his lawyer, and in the book he's a 300-pound Samoan. In the movie he's Benicio del Toro. And what this character keeps saying is, as your attorney, I advise you to, and then gives advice that no attorney,
nobody would ever listen to. It's the most ridiculous shit. Constantly write jokes in my story, and in the dark theme I'm writing them in, it feels out of place. But Beezus, that's okay, as long as it's like the jokes feel like they're in the moment and they're not forced, right? Because everything that's dark still has jokes in it, right? Like, I'm trying to think of the darkest thing. I'd say maybe something like Pitch Black, or hell, even The Shining and It, and like, you know, that kind of stuff has those bits of humor in it to have an alleviated moment, right? As the saying goes, you have to laugh, otherwise you'll cry. It's an attempt of using humor as a copying mechanism, but sometimes I wonder if it's more of, hey, this character isn't taking this as seriously as he should, instead of that. Well, Beezus, there's always the, sometimes things go so wrong, you just have to laugh. Does that make sense? Like, that's one of the absurdity things, right? It's like, how could this get worse for this character? And it's like, it just keeps getting worse. But it's like minuscule in a way, right? It's like spilling your coffee. There's a hole in your sock. You have to go to the bathroom, but there's a lineup. You know, small stupid things like that. Those, like treating a character like this character has bad luck. Like, I would say this for me, because I have, like, the worst fucking luck. My luck is negative 53, guys. I don't even touch that stat, because the more points I put into it, the more negative it goes. So, it's a lost fucking cause. So having a character that just has the worst luck with that, but then when things need to go right, all the stars will fucking align. But if there's anything tiny, it's a disaster. Like when Buffy the Vampire Slayer says, "Oh, I broke a nail." when she's just staked a vampire. There you go, Sean. That's a perfect example. That's a great situational humor.
Ever give. I mean, there's not a lot of lawyers out there who advise you to get a lot of drugs and then rent a fast car, get an enormous amount of guns, and then just, see what happens in Las Vegas. And he keeps repeating that phrase, as your attorney I advise you to, and somehow it manages to be funny throughout the entire book. Probably because you wonder, is this guy really an attorney? Another running gag that works really well comes from The Office with Dwight and Michael. You might know what I'm gonna say here, but in a minute, and it involves Dwight's workplace title. Is it, as Dwight would prefer it, assistant regional manager, or is it, and Michael would say, assistant to the regional manager? Season after season after season, they pull out that joke. It is a running gag and it works really well. Or take the sci-fi book series The Expanse. There's a great running gag in the book, less so inside the television series, where basically someone points out that their ship, the Rocinante, is stolen. And Alex is always very quick to point out, it's a legitimate salvage. He's deeply offended that someone would call his ship stolen. Maybe it's not funny the first time, but through repetition, as you keep on going with it, readers recognize the humor in it. Also, comment below with your favorite
their best
running
ship
gag
fucking
from
stolen
a
from
television
Mars.
series or from a book series. The fifth step in making your readers laugh.
Alex's
funny
death
dialogue.
was the worst, man. Worst, best death for a character. Because it just shows, the dangers of actually flying. And it's doing the shit that he was doing. Yeah, he definitely should have had a fucking brain aneurysm.
One of my top 3 all-time funniest books is The Confederacy of Dunces by John Kennedy Toole. Imagine a 30-year-old man-child living with his mother in New Orleans, working as a hot dog vendor, but imagining he is a philosopher. The stuff that comes out of this character's mouth is just unbelievable. Canned food is a perversion, Ignatius said. I suspect it is ultimately very damaging to the soul. You could tell by the way he talked, though, that he had gone to school a long time. That was probably what was wrong with him. I actually can't even tell you some of his funny lines of dialogue, at least.
It's great for humor in dark situations is when the comment is totally innocent in terms of the world, but makes the reader crack up. I'm thinking Castlevania for this one, Sean. There are some good moments in there.
Not on a platform like YouTube, but trust me.
Off topic, what is your goal as a writer of talks? To write something that... How do you say this? Something that I personally find profoundly changing. You read this book and it will illuminate, it's basically like writing a Bible. But not for a religion. Does that make sense? It's the Bible of life. Something that you can apply the situations in it to life where it's almost seems prophetic in a way. Because it's a critique of, the modern system. Someone is screaming their head off in pain. Spock comes in and says, I understand your pain has intensified. Totally innocent, but funny as heck. Yeah. Disappropriate emotional reaction. Even if it's from a character that's in that state. But yeah. So that's where I want to write the consciousness is fundamental. My goal is to eventually become good enough when my story is talked in the same vein of Breaking Bad and other famous stories, or at least a small cult following that obsessively tries to find small details inside of my story. Yeah, I guess that's true too, Beezus, because I want it the Dark Souls effect, where it's you have to read the equipment and gather all of the equipment in the game, and that tells you the story of the game. It'd be like having the Silmarillion hidden within the pages of the Lord of the Rings. And the more you read it, the more you get out of the world. Okay, I'm gonna go try to write 20 to 50 words, and if I go above that, great, I guess. Nice, Callie, perfect. Not anywhere near that point yet, but I'm going to be there eventually. Exactly, because like if you never stop and you just keep improving, even if it takes 50 years, you'll get there. Look at most like authors of great series like George R.R. Martin, Frank Herbert, stuff like that. Like they basically like died or possibly could die before the entirety of their legacy is fulfilled. And it's not even necessarily that they weren't discovered early. It's just their works are so grand that it encompasses in like half a century. Mark Twain. Yeah, Mark Twain. Another great example. Great classics. I'd say the same about Stephen King, but he just wrote so many books that it's like, oh my god, could he have written more? Could there be more? Are there more? That's all. Another thing too is like unpublished works, right? It's an interesting idea to have like a catalog of purposefully unpublished works that you'll only release after your death. Honestly, I doubt I'll ever be satisfied until instead of comparing me to the greats and one of the authors people are compared to gives me a lofty goal to keep climbing, so I'm never satisfied. True, Beezus.
He is one of the most ridiculous and funny characters ever written.
Also, John
Another
Bunyan.
book which I dearly, dearly love and always laugh out loud at is Catch-22. And there's this great, like, who's on first sort of silly dialogue routine in it. Now, where were we? Read me back the last line. Read me back the last line, read back the corporal who could take shorthand. Not my last line, stupid, the colonel shouted. Somebody else's. Read me back the last line, read back the corporal. That's my last line again, shrieked the colonel, turning purple with anger. Oh no, sir, corrected the corporal. That's my last line. I read it to you just a moment ago. Don't you remember, sir? It was only a moment ago. It's okay if the vast majority of your dialogue isn't funny, right? I don't think most books it's going to be that way. But if every once in a while you just sneak
Let's
in
Hulk
a comedic
Hogan.
line, or you have
Very true, Smokey. Rip Hulk Hogan, guys. What is this? Guys, I'm going to throw a tinfoil hat on here. All of the celebrities that would be on the Epstein list are going to die within the next year. And then the list is going to come out and they're all going to be dead. But there's going to be no politicians on it. It's only going to be like Hollywood actors. It's the 70s, I tell you. Oh, man. 70. If you make it past 70, you're going to make it to 100. If you don't make it past 70, you're fucked. No, I don't think so at all, Beezus. I think, honestly, they're way too low profile for something for that presidents of countries and owners of billion-dollar companies. I don't think Ozzy and Hulk are on that level. Has a 104, 105-year-old grandma. We lost count.
Do not drink water. Do not leave your seat. Do not move your feet. Do
See,
not stretch. Do not go to the bathroom.
what's great about this
Other toes.
this is this is an epitome of Smokey. His ability to continuously, repeatedly fucking derail the stream at all points in time, whenever he shows up, is like the most hilarious thing. Smokey, you are a true gem. Smotidite. 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 Smotidite? Smatidite? Smutidite. You're now smutidited. Smuttidited. John Bunyan wrote a book called Pilgrim's Progress and received over 788 reject letters. Imagine if he would have given up. To this day, Pilgrim's Progress is second only to the Bible in being republished. Pilgrim's Progress is... I probably read that book 3-4 times when I was a kid. So I was raised Christian. I can't believe my parents let me fucking read that book when I was like 8. We probably still have a fucking copy of Pilgrim's Progress from the... Does it got pictures? Yeah, it has one on the front, Smokey. Speaking of which, hey Smokey, check it out. I read every book from Game of Thrones in 6th grade. Damn, Beezus. Or at least the ones that were out. The books! Can you not see them? Can't see them on my phone. Aw, man, I don't want to move them, but I got Sinister and Callie's books. So it's either like super fucking excitement over nothing, super angry and like what the fuck, or like super sad, like why? And that's like the main components of my humor is some sort of emotional escalation. You are trash. Exactly, Smokey. And you know what trash smells like? Your mom. Oh. Yo, mom. You inferring that my mom is a lizard person, Smokey? Are you inferring my mother is a lizard person? How fucking dare you? Shut the fuck up, Smokey. Well, you're right, she is, so fuck. You have no right to speak the truth. No, I'm not a lizard just because my mom's a lizard. That's not how it works. Hey, you know, it is what it is. I got over the fact that I'm not a lizard, okay, guys? I wasn't accepted. Fuck it. It is what it is. Alright, that was 2 tokes, Smokey, so
One
fuck
character
you.
who is frequently
Don't tell me I didn't smoke.
funny, it goes a long way in really helping your book be entertaining for the reader. The 6th step is the comedic rule of 3. So basically you list 3 things, and the first 2 things establish a pattern, and then the third one is the exception to that pattern. And the farther it is...
What was that again?
The 6th step is the
Comedic rule of 3.
You are in for it now, sweetheart. Take those sexy glasses off like a good girl. Do not drink water. You don't need to see what happens next.
Hey, I meant to update you all. I only need 4 more followers now. Hell yeah, Sinister.
Have another toke.
Fuck yeah. 4 more, brother. That's what it's all about. Smokey's gonna kill me, guys. I'm gonna legitimately drop dead. Because of Smokey. I don't believe it. Please, what? Please
This
cry?
stupid streamer can't even get his camera right. Fuck freeze frames. I miss my sexy librarian. You can put those sweet sight setters back in place, slut.
Jesus. Looking like a fish that's been caught.
Do not drink water. Do
Two.
not leave your seat.
Wait.
Do not move your feet. Do not stretch. Do not go to the bathroom. Have another
Didn't
Coke.
you? I'm confused. Is that 2 more or is that only 1 more? Don't scam me. But I already did 2, so if that's 1, then I've already done 2. Does that make sense, Smokey? I did 1. I knew there was another one in there. Damn it. No, I just did it when you froze. Don't scam me. Fuck. Guys are dicks. Getting me high. You got 2 more, but you can skip mine so you don't die. Wait, 3 in total? I'm confused.
Seems as if you are scared of the smoke.
Okay.
So PLS do 2 at once, thanks.
Okay, we're waiting a minute before we do the next one. Yeah, you got scammed. That's all right, Smokey. You got totally scammed. 100%. Nothing quite like getting scammed by the biggest scammer in RuneScape. Motherfucker, I look at you like Cheech and Chong. Come on. A real streamer would be willing to die for our entertainment. Fuck! You guys got me.
Somebody gonna
Oh no! Now what have you done? You have turned up the heat. Oh no! Oh no! Now you make me do this. It is not good. It is not good. Don't worry about it. It will be. You said you weren't a lizard, so why are you being so cold-blooded? Oh damn, Jesus! You guys are ganging up on me. This is not good. Oh no! What shall I ever do? Guys, please. Smoking makes you Indian. Oh, very much so. Welcome, Fireblade. How are you? Yes, Defo a lizard. Oh, do you think so? Very much so, Smokey. We're going to an ad break, guys. So hold on 1 second. We are going to ad break. But I am going to have to go grab a drink as well once the chair dance is over, and then we will do it the final joke, okay? But I need to go grab more drink because you guys are forcing it down my gullet like more cock than I think I can take, which is a very lot of cock. So you know it is. What the fuck are you doing? Oh my god! If he takes that off,
Go back to
his
normal, bitch.
true
This
form
shit-ass
will be
accent is
seen.
killing me.
Donna, Donna, Nana. Thank
Thank you for redeeming chair dance. Hitox will now dance for you.
I
Please
wanted
play this immersive
to
experience.
till I get wasted. Damn, that point just kept coming.
Yet. You did good, you can rest now, babe.
Alright, we're gonna go grab a drink and then we'll be right back. No,
Thank you
you
for
cannot.
redeeming chair dance. Itox will now dance for you. Please fully enjoy this immersive experience.
I just remembered, guys. Oh god, what did I do? I gave Smokey 10,000 points. Oh fuck, what have I done? What have I done? Uh-oh. What have I
Keep dancing, bitch,
done?
It ain't over yet.
You owe me another. Fuck that, Smokey. That ain't happening. It's all Smokey's fault, guys. Everything's all Smokey's fault. For that sus we did the other day. Okay, I will stop.
You did good, you can rest now, babe.
Okay, I need to go grab a drink though.
Thank you for redeeming chair dance. Itox will now dance for you. Please fully enjoy this immersive experience. Keep dancing, bitch, it ain't over yet. You did good, you can rest now, babe.
I will abuse it. Oh, well, I can. Okay. Do you like my chair dance, Smokey? I was invisible. Do you like the invisible chair dance? Is that your favorite chair dance, bro? The invisible chair dance? Scammed, yes. Hey, I'm taking that toke, man. I love the scam dance. Skibbity skibop bop bop boppity beep boop bop bop boppity boop boop bop 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 skibbity skap bap 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 bibbity bop 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 skibbity skibbity bop bop skibbity bop 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 skibbity bop.
You are in for it now, sweetheart. Take those sexy glasses off like a good girl. You don't need to see what happens next.
Push me to the limit. Please shut the fuck up, thanks. Fuck you, Smokey. Okay, guys. You should only make them sounds when I strangle you.
I'm kiss my sexy vibrator. You can put those sweet sight setters back into his slut.
Oh my god.
Comedic rule of 3. So basically you list 3 things, and the first 2 things establish a pattern, and then the third one is the exception to that pattern. And the farther it is an exception, the more funny it is. A comedian would say that the first 2 sets up the norms, and then you break that norm. For example, my favorite books are Moby Dick, The Great Gatsby, and Rock Hard Abs in 30 Days. There's this wonderful expectation that, oh, the third one's also going to be a serious work of literature, and then you completely destroy that notion. Or let's go back to Monty Python, because, you know, Monty Python's great, and let's look at the bridge scene in the
Add a cough emote, please. That's a thought. That's a thought there,
Holy
Smokey.
Grail. There's the bridge troll, and he's asking them questions before they can pass. And the first 2 questions are like, very normal, very natural.
What is your name? What is your quest?
And then the third question is always something wild
And a
off
gay
the
emote.
hook, like,
What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
Mel Brooks also used this technique in World War I, where he has this vendor going along all the injured men saying, shampoo, shave, bloodletting? I even saw this comedic rule of 3 when I was vacationing in Cabo. I was sitting on the beach with my friends, and when vendors came by, they all said the same 3 things. They'd say jewelry in a high loud tone, then they'd lower their voice and say pipe, and then they'd lower their voice again and say weed. And that series always cracked us up, especially like the lowering of the volume. The 7th step to getting some humor into your book is to choose funny names.
What is your favorite color? Red. No blue. Ah! I panicked! Guys, I panicked!
Start to a funny character is often a funny name. And just because you have one amusing character name, it doesn't mean everybody needs an amusing name, right? You can just have one comedic relief character. Sherman Alexie...
Or the name a yellow fruit. Orange!
actually has this character called Tapwater. And he reveals that when he lived back on the reservation, his name was Springwater, and then when he moved to the city, he changed it to Tapwater. Or Terry Pratchett has this character called Cohen the Barbarian, which is only funny if you realize that Arnold Schwarzenegger used to be Conan the Barbarian, and this is like a riff on that. And Cohen, which is a very Jewish name, obviously, constantly like riffs on Conan the Barbarian's lines and
Okay,
sort
I
of
will go now,
repurposes
bye.
them.
Bye,
So someone asked
Smokey,
the
thanks for
Arnold
hanging
Schwarzenegger
out.
Conan, like, what are the best things in life? And Arnold says,
Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women.
and then Terry Pratchett has Cohen the Barbarian ask the same question, and he says, hot water, good dentistry, and soft lavatory paper. I mean, it's a great
ya, Smoke.
satire of Conan the Barbarian. Another wonderful name is Major in Catch-22. So his last name was Major, and then his father named his first and middle name both Major. And when they got to the army, they thought he was a major, so they promoted him from sergeant into a major, so now he was Major. Honestly, it's just a great way to poke fun at some of the absurd.
We'll make a character with an ultra silly name, but he's the straightest performer in the world. Possibly even the villain. Well, the dullest named character in the world is the clown. Dullest named character in the is the clown. Interesting. Names have
He's in
power.
military life. So step number 8 is some of the dangers of writing humor. I would recommend that you don't try to be funny all the time. So look at the number of jokes in your manuscript, and if you have like a lot, I would sort of cut down the worst ones, right? Only keep your very best material in there. And I think it's also a good idea to have non-funny sections, because your book works by contrast, right? If it's funny all the time, there's no relief for the reader. What you want are some sections with some pathos, with some sadness, and then when it comes back to humor, the contrast will make the funny parts even funnier. I also think there's a danger in straining to try to make a joke, and sometimes when you strain too much,
Sir Reginald as the clown, but Tinkles is the straight-laced villain. Guys, I came up with a new palaver for Stella. Ooh, what is it, Callie? I mean, I guess you can post in public stories. It's more fun if I show you. I think it fits in here. We might as well just pop it in here. Guys, got my throat all fucked up from having like 8 tokes. Yeah, I hate Discord messages. You can break it into 2 messages, though. Just do like a part 1 and a part 2. Or is it like significantly longer? Oh, there it is, chapter 15. Neither darkness nor stillness are a straight line. That is because light, because time, their counterparts, travel with a broken compass. North points every which way. Stella, Elias's most powerful egg, knows of worlds beyond the one she is confined in. When you see these words, the page will turn. You will not realize what your fingers have done, only that the story is continuing. And we will suffer, not because we sit on your bookshelf, but because we persist in your mind, said Stella. Damn. So she just has the ability to, like, see beyond. Just, like, to know things. Her sight is all that light is. That's pretty cool. And like I said, far off vistas is something you always want to create. Areas that you talk about but you never go to, and you grandize them.
It just comes out a little, gosh, I'm trying to make a constipation joke and it's just not coming out. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is you gotta let the humor unfold organically. And the last and final tip for writing humor is, what won't you joke about? So I do think all writers need some kind of line in the sand. You need a limit that you say, okay, like, it's all fun and games, I'm fine with joking, but like, I'm not gonna joke about that. And I'm fine with dark humor, right? It makes me think of The Big Lebowski when they have this whole speech and then let go of the ashes of their friend, and then it all just blows back into Lebowski's face. I mean, I think that's hilarious. But I think it's helpful for you to come up with rules of like, what won't you do? Sherman Alexie says that he never punches down. In other words, he tries not to make fun of people who have less power than him. And I think that's a good, like, general guideline when writing humor. Shane Gillis actually does a really, really funny bit on people with Down syndrome, which you think like, are you sure, bro? Really? But I think it works because he's not mocking them. He's more talking about it like from the inside because he has a brother with Down syndrome. He always jokes like, oh, I nearly got hit by it too. He ducks. And Bill Bryson says his line is he never jokes about people with handicaps or with disabilities. And he also says he never tries to knowingly offend someone. Still, I would recommend that you come up with your own guidelines about what you will joke about and what you won't joke about. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hell yeah.
And I hope you feel a little bit funnier now.
True.